You hear that? That's the sound of your blood pressure spiking. For fans of Real Madrid, that anthem is a dinner bell. For fans of Liverpool or Bayern, it's a call to arms. But for you, a Paris Saint-Germain fan, it's the theme music from Jaws. It's the sound the killer's phone makes in a horror movie. It's the auditory equivalent of an email from your boss on a Saturday morning with the subject line, "We need to talk." It's the sound of pure, unadulterated, inevitable dread. Being a PSG fan isn't about supporting a football club. It's about being a test subject in the world's most expensive psychological experiment. An experiment funded by a nation-state, broadcast globally, designed to answer one simple, agonizing question. Can you brute force your way to glory? Can you spend enough money to buy a soul? And every single year, from the 6-1 Remontada in Barcelona to Karim Benzema's 17-minute magic trick, to getting clinically dissected by Borussia Dortmund in the 2024 semis, the answer has been a resounding, humiliating no. You are the fan of a financial institution masquerading as a football team. You are a walking paradox, an elite fan who has never known elite European glory, and a domestic champion who feels nothing but emptiness. It doesn't just suck to be a PSG fan. It's a tactical, financial and spiritual nightmare, and it's all because of one, damn, trophy. One, the golden handcuffs of Ligue 1. Oh look, it's May. The confetti is falling, your players are half-heartedly lifting the hexagon trophy, a piece of silverware that looks like a rejected prop from a low-budget sci-fi movie, and you feel absolutely nothing. You just won the league. Again, for the 10th time in the last 13 seasons. Congratulations, you feel that? That's the hollow, empty void where joy is supposed to be. This is the first layer of your misery. Your domestic success isn't a triumph, it's a curse. It's the golden handcuff shackling you to mediocrity. You spend 38 weeks a year watching your billion-euro project play against teams with a total wage bill that's less than what Neymar paid in taxes when he bothered to show up. This isn't a competition, it's a glorified, mandatory training exercise. And this is precisely why you fail in Europe. Your club is the perfect example of big fish, small pond syndrome. In fact, you're not a fish, you're a state-sponsored great white shark, and the pond is a shallow, slightly muddy puddle in your backyard. You don't learn how to fight. You don't learn how to suffer. Your players stroll through 90% of their season at 70% effort, securing a 2-0 win against Clermont Foot, and they think this is what high-level football is. Then February rolls around. Suddenly you're not playing against a part-time dentist in anger. You're playing against a battle-hardened, tactically supreme Bayern Munich. You're playing against a Real Madrid side that has a PhD in shithousing a win. These teams are forged in the fire of competitive leagues, where every weekend is a war. Your team? Your team has the defensive muscle memory of a wet paper towel. This is why you collapse. It's why you can look like the best team in the world for 150 minutes against Madrid. And then, the second you concede one goal, your entire squad collectively folds like a cheap lawn chair. They don't know how to respond to pressure, because they never ever face it. So you're forced to celebrate a title that means nothing, knowing that this victory is the very thing that's slowly poisoning your chances at the only trophy that matters. The Ligue 1 title isn't a prize, it's just a shiny receipt for another year of wasted time. 2. The Galáctico graveyard. Being a PSG fan means you're addicted to the sugar high of the transfer window. It's the only thing that gives you true, uncomplicated joy. And your club's transfer strategy is simple. Find the shiniest, most famous object in the footballing world and buy it. It doesn't matter if it fits. It doesn't matter if it's 35 years old. It doesn't matter if its knees are made of dust and regret. Just buy it. You are the only fan base on earth that has to pretend to be excited about signing players 5 years after their expiration date. You got Gianluigi Buffon in 2018, a full decade after he was the best keeper in the world. You got Sergio Ramos after his body had visibly given up on the concept of playing football. And then, the big one. You got Lionel Messi. My God, the front three. Messi, Neymar, Mbappé, the MNM. It was the greatest attacking trio ever assembled on a marketing spreadsheet. On the pitch, it was a tactical disaster. It was 3 individual brands, 2 of whom had decided that tracking back was a concept for peasants. You watched, week after week, as your terrifying front line consisted of Kylian Mbappé doing a 100-metre sprint while Messi went for a light jog, and Neymar, Well, Neymar was probably in Brazil. This is the PSG way. You don't build a team. You curate an Instagram feed. You're not signing footballers, you're acquiring followers. The problem is, you can't win the Champions League with social media engagement. The entire Galáctico strategy is a trap. You buy these legends expecting them to win you the trophy, but they're not coming to Paris to bleed for the shirt. They're coming for the single greatest retirement plan in sports history. They get to live in one of the world's best cities, play in a non-competitive league, and collect a paycheck that would make a Silicon Valley CEO blush. It's a footballing museum, not a club, and you're the one paying €100 for a ticket to watch the exhibit stand perfectly still. 3. The Kylian Mbappé hostage crisis. For 7 long years, you weren't a football fan. You were a hostage negotiator. Your entire emotional state, your happiness, your club's future, all of it rested on the whims of one man. Or, more accurately, on the whims of his mother. The Kylian Mbappé saga is the perfect summary of why it sucks to be you. It is the defining drama of the QSI era, and it is a masterpiece of dysfunction. Every summer, without fail, the cycle would begin. The "Will he stay or will he go?" reports. The cryptic interviews where he'd talk about a new project. The perfectly timed leaks about Real Madrid's imminent bid. And every time your club, a sovereign wealth fund, a sporting superpower, would get on its knees and beg. They didn't just offer him money, they offered him France. They reportedly gave him power over transfers, a say in hiring and firing managers, and the keys to the entire Qatari project. Your club completely abdicated its own authority. It stopped being a football club and became Kylian Mbappé FC and 10 other guys. The worst part is that you knew it was a toxic relationship. You knew he didn't really love you. You were just the convenient rich partner he was using until his real love in Madrid finally got its finances in order. You celebrated in 2022 when he chose you, posing with that 2025 shirt, knowing deep down it was all a lie. And sure enough, after one more year of drama, one more year of holding the club hostage, he finally left, walking away as the club's all-time top scorer, having taken all the money, all the power, and all of your dignity while delivering 0 Champions League titles. You spent 7 years building your entire identity around a player who was actively trying to leave you for almost all of it, and now he's gone. And what are you left with? A slightly less good Ligue 1 title. And Ousmane Dembélé. Good luck with that. 4. A museum of spectacular collapses. There are normal losses in football. You play badly, the other team is better, you go home. It happens. Then there's the PSG way. You don't lose, you implode. You don't just get knocked out, you produce works of art. You are the masters of the single most agonizing, humiliating, and psychologically scarring event in sports, the bottle job. Your fan base has a shared trauma that would make a therapist quit the profession. You have an entire wing in your brain dedicated to moments of sheer, unexplainable failure. Let's walk through the gallery, shall we? Exhibit A, 2017, the Remontada, the Sistine Chapel of choking. You win 4-0 at home against Barcelona. It's over, you're through, you're celebrating. Then you go to the Camp Nou and through a combination of cosmic terror, refereeing madness, and Neymar, who loved you so much he decided to join you, you lose 6-1. You conceded in the 95th minute to Sergi Roberto. It's a result so embarrassing it became a verb. Exhibit B, 2019, the Teenagers. You lose 2-0 away to Manchester United, but it's fine. You're coming back to the Parc des Princes. They're playing a B team. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is their manager. They've got kids on the bench. And you lose at home, 3-1, knocked out by a last-minute VAR-gifted penalty from Marcus Rashford after a Presnel Kimpembe handball. You lost to a team that was actively trying not to be there. Exhibit C, 2022, the Benzema blackout. This was the masterpiece. You have Mbappé. You're 2-0 up on aggregate against Real Madrid with 30 minutes left to play. It's done. Then, it happens. Donnarumma forgets how to use his feet. Karim Benzema decides to become a demigod for 17 minutes. 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, gone. Just like that. It wasn't a football match, it was a magic trick. Your entire team just vanished. Exhibit D, 2024, the Dortmund wall, and the most recent failure, the most PSG failure of all. You play Borussia Dortmund in the semi-finals. You are, by every metric, the better team, and you proceed to hit the post, and the bar, and the post again. 6 times over 2 legs. You have 30 shots in the second leg and score 0 goals. You didn't get outplayed, you got outwitted by joinery. You were beaten by pure, uncut, it's just not meant to be energy. You don't just lose the Champions League, you've created an entirely new genre of sporting tragedy. 5. The managerial ejector seat. So how do you fix this culture of failure? Well, if you're PSG, you don't. You just fire the guy in the suit and hire the next expensive name on the list. The PSG manager's job is the most toxic position in football. It's an impossible gig. The job description is simple. Required, win the Champions League. Optional, everything else. Deadline, yesterday. You have watched every type of manager get chewed up and spat out by this club. You had the fatherly figure, Carlo Ancelotti. He won the league, stabilised the project, and then got poached by Real Madrid because he's, sane. You had Unai Emery, a tactical nerd. He will forever be the man who has oversaw the 6-1 on his CV. Sacked. You had Thomas Tuchel, a brilliant, weird, obsessive genius. He actually got you to the Champions League final in 2020, your one and only final. Your reward for this? You sacked him 5 months later, on Christmas Eve. He immediately went to Chelsea and won the Champions League 6 months after that. It is the single greatest, it's not me, it's you moment in football history. You had Mauricio Pochettino, a nice man whose only job was to not break the Messi, Neymar, Mbappé front three. He failed. Sacked. You had Christophe Galtier, won the league, got in trouble. Sacked. Now you have Luis Enrique, a man whose entire tactical philosophy is, I am smarter than you, and I will prove it, even if it means benching your only superstar in a crucial game just to make a point. He survived his first season. He only lost in the semi-finals. The clock is already ticking. You cannot build a team, an identity, or a project when the manager's seat has a built-in ejector button that triggers the second you get knocked out of Europe. There is no stability. There is no long-term vision. There is only the obsession. And you wonder why the players on the pitch look like they have no coherent plan. They're just trying to survive until the next guy comes in. 6. The club with no soul. Let's talk about the Parc des Princes. It's a beautiful stadium. It's also, on a Champions League night, the single most confused place on planet Earth. You look to your left, and there's a family of 4 from Ohio, decked out in brand new, $160 Jordan X PSG 4th kits, filming the corner flag on an iPad. They don't know the rules of the sport, but they do know this is the team from FIFA, and they're here to see the Eiffel Tower. You look to your right, and there's a member of the Collectif Ultras Paris Cup, face like thunder, arms crossed, looking like he's about to start a small war because Ousmane Dembélé just missed a 3-yard pass, and you are stuck in the middle. This is the spiritual void at the heart of your club. You are a fan of a project that doesn't know what it wants to be. Is it a football club, or is it a luxury fashion brand? Is it a team for the city of Paris, or is it a global content creation engine? Is it a sporting institution, or is it a soft power PR vehicle for a Gulf state? The answer is yes. For the last decade, your club's primary identity hasn't been football, it's been branding. The project wasn't to win, it was to become cool. You're the Jordan collaboration. You're the ICI Cest Paris slogan plastered on everything. You're the team that celebrities wear to be seen. You have successfully become the most fashionable, most recognisable, and least respected super club in the world. And this identity crisis plays out in the stadium. You have fans who booed Lionel Messi. You have fans who booed Neymar while he was taking a penalty. Your ultras, the supposed soul of the club, are in a constant running battle with the players and the board. They protest, they walk out, they demand respect for an institution that was, with all due respect, a mid-table irrelevance before 2011. So you've got a stadium that's 50% silent tourists waiting for an Instagram moment, and 50% furious ultras who hate the players, the board, and the tourists. It's not an atmosphere. It's a civil war with a halftime show. Other clubs have a history. They have a soul. They have an identity forged in failure and triumph. Your identity was decided in a marketing meeting. You're a brand, and your fans are consumers, and the product just happens to be 11 men kicking a ball. And you wonder why, when the pressure hits, the whole thing feels as hollow and artificial as a $500 t-shirt. 7. The obsession that rots everything. So here you are. Kylian Mbappé is gone. The circus has left town. The last of the superstar era has finally walked out the door, leaving you with, well, actually a pretty good young balanced team. You've got Warren Zaire-Emery, a kid who is basically the club's one true homegrown soul. You've got Bradley Barcola and Ousmane Dembélé, two agents of pure chaos. You've got a system, you've got a plan, you're rebuilding, and yet you feel that old familiar dread creeping back in. Because you know the truth, it doesn't matter. None of it matters until that anthem plays in February. This is the real, final, most profound reason it sucks to be you. The Champions League obsession isn't just a part of your fandom, it is your fandom, and it has rotted everything from the inside out. You can't enjoy a 4-0 win in the league because you know it's meaningless. You can't get excited about a new signing unless you think he's the final piece of the European puzzle. You can't even enjoy a good run in the Champions League. Remember that 2020 run to the final in the COVID bubble? It was the most sterile, joyless achievement imaginable. You got there, you lost to Bayern without much of a fight, and it just felt empty. A tick on a box. Reached final? Yes. The obsession has poisoned the well. It's why you fired Tuchel, the only man to get you there. It's why you booed Messi, the man who was supposed to guarantee it. It's why you're still terrified, even after the 2024 semi-final loss to Dortmund, that Luis Enrique will be the next one on the chopping block. The project was founded with one goal, and every year you don't achieve it is a 10 billion euro failure. There is no in-between, there is no progress. There is only, did you win the whole thing? Or, you're a disgrace. You're a fan of a club that is spiritually, philosophically and financially trapped. You're Sisyphus, but the boulder is made of oil money, and it has the Champions League logo on it. And the worst part? You know that if you ever actually win it, you might just cease to exist. What's the point after that? The project is complete. But let's be honest, you don't have to worry about that. You're just going to hit the post 4 times and lose 1-0 to a team with a budget you'd spend on catering. That is your destiny. So yeah, you're a fan of a fashion brand that's stuck in a joyless, cursed pursuit of a trophy it will never win. Congratulations. Subscribe for more existential dread.